It's been 25 years since Carlos Faulkner was sentenced to life in prison for the brutal murder of Lesley Briede.
The Briede Bill was passed after the murder and created a new sentence for killers in Kentucky, life without parole. As Joe Webb tells us, it passed too late for Faulkner, and he's up for parole later this month.
It's been 25 years, 1 month, and 19 days since Lesley Briede was murdered in a quiet corner of Fort Wright. Carlos Faulkner pled guilty to the crime and was sentenced to life in prison. But under Kentucky law at the time, he would be eligible for parole in 25 years. He has his first parole hearing in 3 weeks. Tom Jacober, who still lives in the neighborhood, did not hesitate to share an opinion today.
I think he should stay in jail for a while. I don't know how many times they bring him up for parole, but this is the first time I think they should say sorry.
Police say Lesley Briede was asleep at home when Carlos Faulkner stole the garage door opener from her mother's car, parked at St. Paul's Church.
Went to the house, went to the garage, and committed the murder.
She was beaten with a barbell weight and stabbed 39 times. Fort Wright's mayor and former police chief sent an open letter to residents encouraging them to contact the parole board and ask that Carlos Faulkner stay in prison. Any talk of Faulkner's parole strikes a deep chord in this community. Lesley Briede's mother, Briede Bill, lobbied for sentencing changes and became an activist for victims' rights.
We should be able to live in society without being worried about violence. And in order to do that, everyone has to have a voice. When you lose someone through violence, a violent crime, you receive a life sentence in grief, and you never get over it.
The Briede Bill passed in 1998. It allowed Kentucky judges and juries to sentence killers to life without parole. Too late for Carlos Faulkner, too late for Briede Bill. She would not talk to us for today's story, but will speak to the parole board November 27th. Carlos Faulkner speaks to them 2 days later. Joe Webb, Local 12 News.
The Briede Bill also increased compensation for victims of crime. It also mandated violent offenders serve at least 85% of their sentence.